Sammy. We talked about that with Gordo as well. Sammy James, welcome to the Christian Hartcan Show. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. And don't worry, we're going to get you back on PT soon enough.
Terrific. Looking forward to it. I had a very good time last time, although I don't know about your producer now. He couldn't do any better than Joe Braverman.
I don't know. That guy kind of scares me. I stay away from Joe.
If only that was that easy. Anyway, Sammy, great to have you on here tonight, especially since it being Alex Bregman Day. We just played a clip of you. Very excited, very happy about this move. Where were you when you found out about it, and what was your initial reaction?
Honestly, I was leaving the commuter rail, walking to the tee right outside of Fenway Park. I got the notification. Actually, I got a bunch of texts from the Play Tessie guys, and I screamed really loud, scared a handful of civilians, tried to apologize, but they walked the other way. Just a feeling that I have not felt in so long. Just unbelievable. I'm thrilled with this move. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, now I'm happy about it too. Was Bregman the main guy? Because we all know at the beginning of the offseason that the Red Sox were targeting a right-handed bat. Was Bregman the guy you had in mind when they were initially saying that back in, I don't know, November, basically?
100%. I heard a lot of Teoscar Hernandez talk too. I like that idea, but not as much. I think Bregman, the flexibility he gives, being able to play second base, third base, hits right-handed, of course, has good numbers against lefties. I know those have gone up and down, but overall, good numbers against lefties. That's something they need. And the leadership, too. He just checks so many boxes, he brings people to the ballpark, too. I mean, that's an exciting guy to watch. He's also a playoff performer. I could just go on and on and on. And the one thing, I know he's going to be 31 years old on opening day, but now it's a 3-year deal. Like, it's just unbelievable. I had all these doubts about the Red Sox ability to pull off something like this. I didn't think they'd be able to do it. I was kind of in the acceptance phase where I was starting to look at, like, maybe Justin Turner would be a good fit. I don't know. He's 40, but we can make it work. It's just unbelievable. This is the guy. This is the number one right-handed bat they should have targeted. They did it, and it's just so refreshing to see the Red Sox make the smart, obvious choice when for the last few years it's felt like they've insisted on being the smartest guy in the room, making these odd moves, and just it's kind of that vibe of like, oh, don't worry about it. We know what we're doing. But from the fan perspective, our perspective as well, it's like, why not just make the obvious move? And they've finally done it. And look what a great place they're in now. Look how happy everyone is. The excitement level hasn't been where it's at right now since 2021, end of that season. So good time to be a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, it certainly is. Why do you think Bregman took a 3-year deal instead of a 7-year deal he was getting offered from Detroit? I know it was more money, but a guy his age, wouldn't you think a guy like that would want the security in the extra years?
Honestly, yes. If you had asked me a day ago, would he take a 3-year deal from the Red Sox, I would have thought, that's kind of crazy. 3 years, maybe you'd have a shot with 4, 5 probably gets it done. But here we are, man. I mean, we talk about the brand of the Boston Red Sox. Alex Bregman makes me think that brand is still alive. Fenway Park, we grow up here. We go to Fenway all the time. It's kind of just the ballpark that we go to. But for someone like Bregman, he's from New Mexico, Fenway probably has that aura, and he's got great numbers here too. So a combination of things like that. And I know it sounds like, hey, big Red Sox guy talking about the brand, but come on. I mean, how could you not see it? He wanted to be here. The Red Sox, credit to them, they ponied up very high AAV, $40 million a year, whatever. We'll take it 3 years. And they got it done. So would I have predicted this? Absolutely not. I'd be lying if I said I would have. But I'm thrilled about it. And I think that the contract is great. You hear the complaints about the AAV. Please spare me. I could not care less about that. A lot of it's deferred too. So the luxury tax, I believe they're about $6 or $7 million over the first tier, which is nothing. You can adjust that at the trade deadline as well. So on top of adding a player like Bregman, they also have flexibility, and not just, Cora mixing and matching, flexibility financially as well. So again, 5-star move from me.
Why do you think John Henry finally broke down and spent a admittedly exorbitant amount of money for this one player?
I wish I knew. He never talks, but I heard you talking about bullying. Maybe that's it. And we could.
I just want to take credit for it. Yeah, we should all take credit for collectively bullying John Henry.
Yeah, bullying works. We bullied him into it. No, but honestly, I've got no clue. We're hearing murmurs around town that John Henry wanted the player. It was a matter of, does Breslow want him too? Cora obviously wanted him. So, the bullying, and, you saw Linda Pizzuti post a picture of John Henry smoking the cigar right after the news broke. So, yeah, maybe it got a little bit personal. He's still human. We talk about him as if he's just money, sentient money, but, he's not. And I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe it got to him finally. And, you can never take back the four out of the last 5 years that have been a bit of a waste. But, hey, we're here now. Better late than never, I guess.
Do you think part of the motivation for this move was to make Alex Cora happy? I mean, this is a guy who did just get a big contract extension, so he should be happy about that. But I remember talking to him at the end of the year, and he was adamant that, it's going to be different this offseason. You know that he loved Bregman and that he really wanted him here. Do you think that factored heavily into Henry's decision to do this?
Yeah, yes, I do. It would be bad business to not make Alex Cora happy with everything you just mentioned. And it was very clear, like I said, that he wanted Bregman specifically. I'm sure he would have been, cool with Nolan Arenado, but he mentioned Bregman so many times. So, like I said, I think it would be bad business not to keep Alex Cora happy. And John Henry is not a guy that's into bad business. So to answer your question, absolutely, I do think Cora is a pretty sizable part of this move.
Where does Bregman slot into the lineup? Where would you bat him?
I am batting him right between Devers and Casas, second base. I'll go Duran in left or center. Take your pick. Devers at third, Bregman at second, Casas at first base, batting cleanup, and then we can figure out the rest after that. That is a nasty 1 through 4. It's finally a little bit more balanced, a little left-handed heavy, but I think that's better than being right-handed heavy. You're going to see a lot more right-handed pitchers, obviously. So that's the way I'd set it up to start.
What was your grade for the Red Sox offseason at this time yesterday, and what is it now?
At this time yesterday, I probably would have said a C or a C minus because, Garrett Crochet, that was my number one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my number one guy that I wanted. But if he's not extended, then that's basically just a 2-year rental. That's not great. Chapman, decent ad, not really a closer anymore, but he makes your bullpen better. Bueller, 1-year deal, another rental. It's some relief help. It's okay. So I was at a C minus. Now I think I'm jumping. I might go as far as to say A minus now. I mean, you're set up to be one of the top contenders in the American League. I'll put the Red Sox up against anybody right now, and I have not said that since 2018 maybe. So it feels weird to say, feels wrong to say, but it's not. So C minus yesterday, massive leap to an A minus today.
You put them up there with the Yankees, huh? I mean, the Yankees had a pretty serious offseason themselves with Fried and Devin, what's his name? Devin Williams,
yeah.
Thank you. The reliever they got from the Brewers. Not to mention Goldschmidt and Bellinger. I mean, that's a pretty good offseason right there. You put them right up there with the Yankees, huh?
Yeah, I would. I mean, those names you mentioned, Bellinger, Goldschmidt, good careers. I'd be a lot more afraid of them if it was 2019, but, they're both kind of past their prime.
You say that about Bregman, too, right? I mean, I'd be more scared of Bregman in 2019, too.
Fair enough. But, 31 is a little bit different than what Goldschmidt was. He's 33, I believe, and he's slowing down significantly. Bregman's still a 4-WAR player, gives you defense, the leadership, the bat. I'd put them up there with the Yankees. I'd still give New York a slight edge. I think you got it after coming off the World Series appearance, but so many moving parts with them. The Red Sox have added a handful of new pieces. The Yankees have like a very, very different looking roster. I just don't see them holding up, but, out of respect to what they did last year, I'll give them the slight edge. And the other team I'd look at is the Rangers. They were super banged up last year, and I feel like they've kind of been forgotten about. That's a team that everyone should be looking at. Credit to my colleague Pat Brown for bringing that up on Play Tessie the other day. That's a scary team right there.
Yeah, no question about it. We're talking with Sammy James from Play Tessie. Sammy, before we let you go here, obviously for the rest of the spring training and Grapefruit League play and everything, all eyes are going to be on Bregman. They're going to be on the rookies. They're going to be on the prospects and Crochet and all these new guys that they have here. Who's an X factor on this team that's not getting talked about right now that you think is going to have a much larger impact than maybe fans are expecting?
Liam Hendricks. That is the guy I am looking at in spring training. The Red Sox have, right now with Bregman, not a lot of holes on the roster. The one thing I would point to is the back of the bullpen. Liam Hendricks, one of the best closers of the generation, but he hasn't pitched meaningful games in about 2 years now. Coming off of a pretty serious diagnosis, he had cancer, he beat it. He also had surgery, so that's two things he's overcome. He's an impressive guy, but we got to see it first. So if he's looking good, I'm going to feel unbelievable about this Red Sox team. If he's not, then I don't really know who's closing ball games. They definitely have options, but that is what I would say is the biggest, question mark on the Red Sox right now, the back end of the bullpen.
All right, very good. That is the voice of Sammy James. You can follow him on Twitter at HEBHammer94. Very nice, by the way. And you can hear him, of course, on the Play Tessie podcast right here on the Odyssey Network. Sammy